one, I'll be discussing the tourism distribution channels. So there are two types of distribution system. The first one is the unilateral distribution system and the second one is the bilevel distribution system. The unilateral distribution system means the suppliers distribute goods directly to the consumers, while the bilevel distribution system involves a retailer who sells directly to the consumers. Types of travel intermediaries. First is a travel agency, a person or organization selling travel services. They are the ones who provide ancillary services. These are type of services that are given to passengers in order for them to feel secure and comfortable. Tour operators, these are the packager, wholesale tour operator, and such. They are the ones who are involving in handling the tour packages. So now we'll be proceeding in the list of the historical events that happened in the 17th century to the 19th century and so on. Next are the examples of travel intermediaries. Travel management company or travel agency, a commercial enterprise where a traveler may secure information, receive travel advice, and make arrangement to travel by air, sea, or land to any point in the world for a professional fee. The consumer seeks out a travel agency in order for them to supply the needs and wants of a consumer. And as you can see in the graph below, the consumers, the travel agency, and the suppliers benefit from each other. Moving on to the function of a travel agency. So it provides information and expertise, and it recommends destination, products, and services best suited to the needs of the clients. Another function of the travel agency is that they provide assistance in securing travel documents. When we want to travel, the first thing that we're going to do is to secure our documents. These documents holds our identity and everything about us. Since the travel agency has high security, we entrust them to keep safe of our informations and documents. Another function of the TMC is that they process travel arrangements. We make an arrangement, give our documents, and then we trust them to do their jobs. Next, assist in case of refunds and cancellations. Types of travel agency according to ownership. First is the sole proprietorship. It means only one person owns the company. Second is the partnership. It comes from the word partner, so two people owns the company. Third is the corporation. It means 15 people or more owns the company. Next would be types of travel agency according to size. So this first organizational structure is called the small size travel agency. The next one would be the medium-sized travel agency. Last but not the least is the large-sized travel agency. It's much complicated and it's much broad compared to the previous one. Tour operator, travel entity or company that assembles and operates tour packages made up of transportation services, accommodation, meal, and tour guides. Next is the classification of tour operator. First, local tour operator. Second, domestic tour operator. Third, inbound tour operator. And fourth, outbound tour operator. Local tour operator are those who arrange tour packages within a certain region, locally known in a certain area. They let the travelers experience the best trip within the locality. Domestic tour operator. They provide travel packages and tours within a tourist's native country. Inbound tour operator brings tourists into a country as a group or via individual tour packages. They handle all arrangement in the host country, and the type of tours that they make are specifically for non-residents touring in the country. Unlike inbound tour operator, the outbound tour operators take residents from one country to another. Types of tourists or travelers according to personality by WTO served by travel agencies. The first one is the adventurer or individual travelers. Budget conscious, they do not just appreciate the place but want to experience it. Second is the mainstream tourist. Usually travel in big groups, prefer to see destination recommended to them. They go on educational tours, family excursion, corporate excursion, and vacations. Third and last one would be the extreme tourist. observant, participative in tradition, celebration, and customs of the local community. Going back to the first one, which is the adventurer, these people love to explore and experience new things, do something that's unique and fresh. Well, the second one, which is the mainstream tourist, these people tend to travel for a reason, either for leisure or unwind, or for business matters. Last but not the least, these are the extreme tourists. These people love not just only the scenery or the location itself, but also they embrace the culture and tradition of a certain country. Moving on to the next topic, travel agency operations. Counter counseling. Counter counseling aims to conclude counter sales, which are transactions captured by the travel counselors or counter staffs. Flight itinerary planning is the process by which cities to be visited are arranged in desired sequence to conform with the passenger's desired travel plans. Moving on would be the flight reservation. There are two types of flight reservation, namely the manual reservation and the automated reservations. So now let's see the difference between these two. The manual reservation, the traditional way of placing reservation before the advent of e-commerce and internet. This method involves direct contact with the supplier's staff by mobile or regular phone. Next would be the electronic reservation. Electronic reservation were introduced by the use of email correspondence and involve writing to the email address of the supplier and receiving a reply from a department or individual. Another way to place an electronic reservation is through an interactive website where no human contact is involved. Automated reservation. Automated reservation are made through a global distribution system wherein the supplier is a member, unlike electronic reservation where fields or boxes in the screen first, allowing the client to make a choice. Fare calculations. Simplying it out, a fare is an amount charged to a tourist whenever he travels. Air ticketing. Only after the reservation have been proceeded and confirmed and the applicable airfares calculated can the ticketing officer issue an air ticket. The insurance of an air ticket is the final step in processing a passenger's air travel requirements. It represents a contact between a passenger and a carrier and it represents a passenger's payment to a travel agent. Documentation. Documentation refers to the process of legally securing the necessary travel papers for prospective passengers. Documentation includes the reviews of travel documents presented by the prospective passenger to ascertain that the period of validity of these documents has not expired and that they meet the requirements of the country in transit or destination. Roles of a tour guide. First, educator. Second, PR representative. Third, host. Fourth, caregiver. Fifth, overseer. Sixth, coordinator. Seventh, timekeeper. And eighth, a shepherd. Let's proceed to the first one, the educator. Just like a teacher, a tour guide are expected to provide people with informations, answer their question if they have. Next is the PR representative. They have a unique way of promoting organization in a strategic form of communication. Next is a host. They surely entertain us while we are traveling. Next is a caregiver. They take care of us whenever we're not feeling well during the travel. Next is overseer. Since they have the knowledge and they are savvy about the places that we're going to visit, they provide us information that could surely help us while we are traveling. Next is a coordinator. They make sure that everything is well planned and they make sure that everyone follows the rules and regulations. Next is the timekeeper. They keep track of time during the whole travel in order to achieve the right schedule that has been planned. Last but not the least is a shepherd. They educate, help, and guide us during our whole travel.